Hi everybody, welcome back to the Capacities YouTube channel. Today I want to do something a bit different and do a tutorial for a use case. What I'll be doing is recreating what you can see here, this layout, which is actually a daily note template. It uses a few different things and I thought it would be a good way to kind of learn in context and also to get some ideas of how you might want to structure your daily note in Capacities. Daily notes are super personal. It's completely up to you how you do it. So this is just meant to be a starting point and some inspiration. So just to give an overview of the topics that we might cover, we'll be talking about styling, both blocks and tables. We'll be talking about a few different blocks. So we've got heading blocks, to-do blocks and table blocks as well. And we'll also talk about how to get the column layout as well. So let's get started building this. I'm going to go to today's page and we'll start here. I figure it's also easiest to start with the table blocks as well, as they are the biggest kind of feature on the screen. So any blocks can be created with the / or the plus button. I typically use / and I always type to refine the search. So I want a table, I've typed in that and I'm going to click enter. And that gives me a 2x3 table. Now this is going to be my daily schedule and I do want to schedule more than 3 hours of my day, so I need more rows for this. You can either add them with plus and click and drag, or if you want to change columns and rows, use the plus in the bottom right hand corner. So I'll just drag this down here and then I will start filling in the times. I'm just typing here and using the down arrow to navigate to the next cell. I think I'll just stick from 8 till 8, so I can delete this row by highlighting it and either clicking delete or doing command backspace, and I now have these times there. I definitely don't need this to be as wide as it is, so I'm just adjusting the width by clicking and dragging. And then what I want to do is make the times what's called a header column. When I click this in this option button, it grays out the first column, and I think this A looks really nice, but B just kind of represents that these times aren't going to change and that I just need to focus on filling in these cells. I also want to format the text within the table so that it is center aligned, and the way that you can do that is by clicking the menu at the top of this column, clicking format column, and then you see this action panel open up. You can do all sorts in here. You feel free to explore these options, but I just want to click center align there. So that's my first table ready to go and ready for me to fill in the morning. I also want to make a second table, and this will be my priorities for the day. So to create blocks underneath anything, you can just click on the plus, and I am then going to do / table again. And I don't need to change the layout. This works perfectly. And I'm just going to do 1, 2, and 3. So again, I've center aligned it and I am going to give it a header column as well. If you do want to apply a color to a header column, you still can. Just click on this style icon here in that menu. So again, click on that column menu, format column. You've got all of the options here and you can choose which color you want. So if I do violet, it has changed the color as well. So they are the two main parts of this daily note. And now what I want to do is put them side by side. Then we can add the headings and then we're on our way. I recommend that you add the columns by shift clicking on the plus of whatever's at the top of your page. Type / or plus and then search for columns. And then that creates you 2 columns. And at that point, you just drag upwards and there we go. The next thing to do is to create the headings, I think. So again, I want to put my headings above the blocks. So obviously I want to put my headings above the table. So I'm going to shift click on the plus again. That creates a block above and therefore shifts the table down. And I want to add a heading that says daily planner. Now there are many ways to create headings in Capacities. So you can either write down your text as a normal text block, click on the 6 dots and look at this hierarchy section here. And obviously the size of the heading corresponds to the number. So 2 is larger than heading 3. I typically prefer heading 3. Or if I shift click above the second table, I can show you some more options. You could do / and then type the number that corresponds to the heading that you would like. So for heading 3, I would do /3. Or if you are used to markdown shortcuts for whatever reason, you can do those here as well. So 3 hashtags space creates heading 3. So just pick whichever one feels best to you. At this point, I want to style the block behind it. Now, styling can be applied to 2 things and they're slightly different, so I'll show you that now. If I highlight the text, I can style that text. So I can either turn it into a different text color or highlight the back of just that text. However, I personally prefer when the whole block behind it is styled. If you click on the 6 dots and go to this little style icon here, and you can see that there are 2 bits of styling applied now. One to that entire block, and you always know which area is going to colour in based off the amount that's highlighted, and there is also that text highlighting as well. I personally prefer just the blocks, so I will highlight the text again and just remove that. But I just wanted to show you what the different styling options were here. So I've done that one, and I'm going to do the same here. So click on the 3 dots. If you like keyboard shortcuts, it would be worth learning Command-Shift-E, because this expands and contracts that panel. So I can click here and add the sky formatting as well. So this is nearly done. I now want to add in the kind of routine section, which I had beneath this block. So what I can do is this time just click to create a block beneath this table. Shift click creates a block above, clicking creates a block beneath. And I'm going to do /3 and call it morning routine. Now, I personally have 3 things that I want to include here, and I would do them as to-do blocks. This is my favourite way of creating them. Open and close a square bracket and click space, and that creates a to-do block. Now, what you're seeing here is, as mentioned, a to-do block. It comes with a simple checkbox, but some people will also see this arrow, this send button. This is because I have task actions enabled, which is a feature of the paid plans, which means that if you have an integration set up with a task manager, I could choose to send this task to that task manager for action there. For things like this, I don't feel the need for that. Therefore, I just use a general to-do block, but again, all personal preference. So I have my checkbox set up, and I will just write down what my morning routines are. Again, I will add styling. So Command-Shift-E, add the sky background. And then what I want to do is now finish off with my evening routine. So if I am at the end of that daily walk block and click enter, that creates me another to-do block. But obviously I want to recognize that this is the morning section and we're now moving into the evening section. So I'm going to do backspace, and that removes any of the styling in a block. Click enter again to give it a bit of a space. And then again, I will go in with heading 3. I'll do the markdown shortcut this time and call it evening shutdown. Click enter and I open a new to-do block. And now I write my 3 evening things. So I've written down those evening things, and obviously the final thing to do is add the styling. So at this point, I'm happy with this, and it's time to make it into a template. What I'm going to do is highlight everything and copy, and then click on this templates button. So I'm in my daily note. Let's click on the template. I'm going to click new template, and I'll call it new planner and give it the date. And then I'm going to paste. So that has all very nicely copied over. If for whatever reason it doesn't maintain the columns when you copy, just do what we did earlier. It's like the exact same editor. Shift click, create the columns, and then just drag everything back to where it's supposed to go. And then as soon as you're happy with your template, like that's it, it's set up. But what's important to do if you want it to automatically recur every time you create a new daily note is that you click on the template button again and you click this mark as default star. This is a feature of the daily note template function, and clicking the star makes it default as mentioned. So if I open up this calendar and pick a random day in the future and click start your daily note, it's automatically applied exactly what I have just told it to. If at any point this no longer works for you, click on the template button, click on edit and edit in here, and then every future daily note will apply with the new settings. Nothing in the past will be touched. If you no longer want this actual whole template to be the default, just simply unstar it, create a new one and start the next one. So that is everything for this daily note inspiration setup. I hope that it is somehow useful. If you have any other requests for like specific use cases of things that you want to see, let us know. We have lots of plans already, but it's great to hear what people are looking for as well. And of course, if you have any questions about this particular setup, do let us know in the comments below and we'll be happy to help. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.